Hello. So I spend a fair amount of time talking about New Supply because I give it a lot of thought. I really do. And I've made videos before, and the comments vary, right? In terms of, I feel bad for the New Supply. And many times comments will be, well, I don't feel bad, she stole my man, or she pulled the wool over my eyes and went with New Supply behind my back. One guy has quite a story. But either way, and I understand that, if the New Supply is just as devious as the narcissist, and they both betrayed you, and they both swindled you, and they both, okay, I get that. I'm not saying we have to feel bad for those people. But an unsuspecting New Supply, can you imagine? I mean, I think of it more often than I probably should, because it is part of who I'm trying to reach with this channel. I'm trying to reach potential New Supply so they don't become New Supply. That's part of why I'm trying to spread the word. I don't want anyone to be New Supply to the narcissist. Here we are, X Supply. Many of us. Some of you are still in it. When I think of New Supply and what she is going through, because now I'm on the other side. And once you're on the other side, looking back in, and you think what she's going through as New Supply, it makes me cringe for her. Because she is now in the position where they hate you, us, the old Supply. They may even go so far as to try to stalk you, right? A lot of you are on social media and you have very public platforms. I do not. I don't have that. I have a private Facebook because I have family in Rhode Island. It makes me keep in touch with friends and whatever, but there's not a way that, say, his New Supply could type in my name and find things and stalk me. It's not really going to really be a thing that somebody could do. But it is with other people. They're going to try to look into your life. They have no idea that their boyfriend, who is promising them the world, is hoovering you. I'm sure that New Supply, whoever his new person is, whether he's still with the person that it was when we broke up or on to the 8th person, I have no idea. But whatever the case is going on with my narcissist, he's with someone, and that means she's New Supply. She has no idea that he was calling me, at least the whole time that he was with her. Isn't that an awful, awful, awful... I feel bad. She has no idea that the entire time that they're together, he's looking for newer Supply, because now she's starting to put parameters. She's starting to maybe catch on. She's starting with questions. They don't like that. The narcissist can't have that. They won't have it. Pardon me, I have an itchy nose. Get into a fight or kiss a fool. That's what they say. They won't deal with that, so off they go again. And now the narcissist is on to their next cycle. They're online trying to date. If they live in a busy town, downtown city, they're now going to be hitting the town again, trying to date, trying to find people, trying to find New Supply that won't question them, that will see them with the reverence they like to be seen, right? They like to be seen as omnipotent, all-powerful, almighty. If their New Supply is starting to question and be concerned and show the narcissist that they now have a stake in what they do and how they're going to behave, the narcissist is going to look at them like they have two heads. They're entitled to behave any way that they want. Don't ever think about the new supply and think for 1 millisecond you need to be jealous. Oh my God. They are having the same thing done to them as you had done to you. And regardless of how euphoric your narcissist tried to make you think that they were with their new supply, that is going to blow up. And you might say, well, I don't know, she seems like a conformist. She's not. Okay, you can sit like that, Mama. She's never going to question him. They're going to be together forever. Okay, it's still, I don't care if that were the case. Is that he's still going to carry on behind their back? Just because he can. Just because he's bored. No one person will ever fulfill a narcissist. I've said that sentence many times, and I will continually. No one person will ever fulfill a narcissist. So can you imagine being the new supply? To me is like the worst spot you could be, because that's where everything happens. I'm old supply. I'm not getting devalued by him anymore. He doesn't have any power over me anymore. I'm through it. I did go through it. I wouldn't want to be new supply. That's all coming to her. And the minute she starts to question, the minute they have a fight, doesn't even have to question his behavior. The minute she challenges him in any way, he's going to devalue her and go out and cause trouble. And you might say, well, I thought we're supposed to challenge her. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist and it's 20, 30 years and you're married and you have children and there's no way out and you're stuck there, you damn right I think you should challenge them and get all the answers you need and fight for your spot in life. Absolutely. But if this is a new relationship and you're catching on that he's a narcissist, just get out. Just get out. And I wish more than anything that any of the girls that this guy, my old guy, is trying to get would see this channel. They never will. Until we blow up. Because we're going to blow up, right? This channel's going to end up being huge and everyone's going to know it and no one's going to want to be with these narcissists anymore. That's my goal. That's my goal. But we're not there yet. We're growing one by one. It's a quiet little channel. I'm seeing the growth. I love it. But it's not big enough yet where any of the people that he sees would find this. Or any channel. I hope they do. I hope they think something's not right here. Let me look this up. And they catch on before they're devalued. I don't want anybody going through this again, including his new supply. She's just a woman. She's not the enemy of me. She doesn't even know me. I don't even know her. I have nothing to do with her. I'm not mad at New Supply. They're the next victim. Can you imagine? I guess I should revel in the fact that it's behind me now and I'm not the new victim, because the new victim has all of that coming to them. Can you imagine being the new supply and having all that coming to you? And it is coming. Yeah. They don't skip and like treat one person nice and the rest of them are devalued. Like Ted Bundy. You know how Ted Bundy had the one girlfriend with the daughter he used to visit and have throughout the years, peppered throughout the years. And in and around that one girlfriend that he had for years, he was a serial killer. He never bothered that girlfriend. But she had a weird relationship with him. And she would say he'd come in, he was Mr. Charming, and then he'd go back out. I wouldn't see him for a while. There's been many, many things made on Ted Bundy, and you can see that. She says, I had no idea. She had absolutely no idea. Now that's a little worse than your average narcissist. But my point is, he did have one person that for some reason he just never harmed her in that way. I don't think the narcissists do that. They don't have one person that they keep and then they're going to stay with that person for a long time and never hurt them. They go through this cycle with everybody. It's a cycle that the narcissist has to do. So in the devaluation stage of the new supply, they have already been trying to garner even newer supply, and then that person's going to be the ex-supply, and only then will she understand me. Only then might she feel bad about me. Only then will that new supply now say, wow, I know what this feels like. And maybe have empathy for those that came before her who she might have hated and stalked. And only then will the new supply maybe back up a step and say, hey, do you want to talk about it? I bet we have things in common. I told you that before. I'd love for all of us, a whole chain of supply, to have a conversation with each other. I think we would expose that narcissist so much and learn things that we don't want to learn and hear things that would kill us. We already know it anyway. I don't need for the new supply to tell me what kind of sweet nothings he's whispering to her. I know what they are. He said them to me. It doesn't hurt my feelings. They're not that creative. They're going to say the same things over and over again. We've talked about that too. But can you imagine? She's sitting cozy and thinking she's fine, and it's about to blow up in her face. I feel awful. It's not an enviable position to be in that new supply slot. You are being set up for all of it to come crashing down. And I just ask that we have some understanding amongst each other based on what slot you're in. They're all stinky with the narcissist. Every single slot is awful. But the new supply is extra special, isn't it? Because on sight, it might be like, ooh, but how does she get to have him? Or how come he went with her? What does she have that I don't have? Right, you hear that a lot. She doesn't have anything. You know what she has? Ignorance to his behavior that you don't have. That's what she has. She has the ignorance to his ill behavior that you've now came upon. You're on to him. That's what she has. She's not on to him. But she's getting there, isn't she? If she's starting to question, that's when he's going to try to find a newer supply. Let's try to just put ourselves in each other's shoes and reach out and try to help each other. I want to expose the narcissist to everyone, regardless of what phase they are in with the narcissist. I want us all to learn about it. If I could figure out a way to get in touch with whomever he is trying to reel in, I would. I have no way of doing that. I wouldn't have any idea. But I think that I would. And you might say, well, what do you mean? Should I approach his new supply? Should I think that that's a very loaded thing to think about, because they will look at you like you're crazy. They will think that you're stalking them. But I'm telling you, if I could very easily be in touch, I might do something like screenshot the list, the endless lists. It would be 4 or 5 screenshots just from July or June. The phone calls coming in, the voicemails that I found that she I don't have anything to say, but you just might want to know. I certainly would approach my boyfriend at that time. What are all these voicemails? I got a text that you've been voicemail. She has a right to know. Again, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to contact anybody. And you might say, well, wouldn't that cause a lot of trouble? Shouldn't you advise against that? if it's from an informative, helpful, non-adversarial position, then that you could maybe do it and get away with that and have her not think you're coming from a hateful place or a crazy place. Because don't forget, the narcissist has badmouthed you into making them think that you're insane. You know, that smearing thing that they do. But if there's a helpful way, congenial way, non-threatening way to just let them know certain information that you think that you would have wanted when you were New Supply, I look back, and this is why I landed on this solution. I wish that girl before me had how could she couldn't have found me either though. See, same thing. But I wish she would have screenshotted me. Hey, by the way, did you know that we had this conversation the night you guys were going out on your first dinner? And boom, I had a text conversation in front of me. I would have loved that information ahead of time. Is it hurtful? Sure. Would the narcissist have 18,000 things to say to make excuses for it? Absolutely. But now you have the information. I think we're all better off with more information than less. It's a tenuous topic whether or not you reach out to the New Supply. And like I said, unless it was a real helpful, truly congenial way that you could figure out how to do it, I wouldn't bother. But I would have loved the information. So if you can figure it out, because can you imagine? I'm sorry, I feel bad. They think they're just trucking along and they feel they won the lottery. This wonderful guy's giving me all this attention and he left that girl and they think he's being good. They think he's behaving. They think he's just with them. Can you imagine? Of course you can. You've been there. But you're out of it now. But remember what it felt like to be that. And that's what the New Supply is going through. It is not all roses and ice cream. No way.